Just confirming if he's going to answer. This is part 2 of the Crimson podcast with me, Crimson, and we have John downstairs. He's just currently going to get something, so I'm just waiting on confirmation to ring him. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he will answer. Hopefully. But this is part 2, guys. Hi, Mr. James Westney. How are you doing? Oh, is he typing now? He's typing. Is he typing? Can you hear me? Hello? You are currently live. Oh, here we go. He's currently live and now the connection's shit. Hello?
Hello?
Could you turn the sound down? Right, James Westney, welcome to the special edition of the Crimson podcast with me, Crimson, and also we have our little brother John here. Sorry to surprise you a little bit, dude. Unlike everything, we just thought we'd give you a little sneaky ring since you wanted to be on the podcast today. So, how are you?
I'm alright, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. Obviously, there's a few. Obviously, you know the rules of the Crimson podcast. It's totally unscripted, guys. It's totally, you can talk about anything or anything like that. So, I just want to ask a few questions, like for these next, I'd say, half an hour or so.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what's your views on the last show, may I ask?
It was intense.
Why is that, my friend?
There were just, some really good matches. And, Leo Libra, you were there.
Yeah, the king of the dickheads. He'll probably be watching this later on and thinking, right, I'm going after Crimson as well as James. But we all know, guys. Yeah. Well, we all know. Obviously, the last show that he injured your leg, which is leading on to not Apocalypse. Sorry, that was the last show. What happened? To the aftershock match between you and Leo Libra. Now, obviously, I don't know whether you want to. Obviously, you got your own strategy, and he's got his own strategy and things. But are you excited for that? Like, are you pissed off? Are you happy to finally go against him for one more time, or?
Well, I'm pissed off. He, injured my leg. He's attacked a lot of my friends in the company, so it'll be good to, get my own back.
Yeah, man. Slightly going off that, who else would you like to see at Aftershock go against one another, like, on the card? Have you got anyone in particular that you want to see, or any stipulations you want to see, or anything like that? What would you like to see?
Well, I'd obviously like to see my partner, Clayton Andrews, shout out to him. Maybe going for, having a match with Carnage, going for the world title.
That would be very interesting. Anyone else?
Clayton Andrews has been, training at UKW, so it'd be good to see what he's learnt from there and add into SWF.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be seeing that. That would be a dream match, to be honest, guys. Because Clayton Andrews, he's a very, very technical opponent, and obviously you've got Carnage, which he is very, 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 very destructive, so you never know. Who would you like, and I know this sounds kind of like boasting or anything like that, but who would you like to see me go against at Aftershock, like?
I don't know, it's kind of hard to think of an opponent. I would like to see you go against, maybe Psychosis or, Crisis again. That was a good match that you two had at, WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I'd like to go against, well, personally, I'd like to see about my brother. We have actually been scheduled, as I said, on part 1 of the podcast, because we did have Mark Dolan on it. Obviously, we would like to we're going against each other. It's been confirmed at the superhero show at the end of the month on the 29th of May, guys. For charity in our specialty match, which is a hardcore match. So it will be very interesting to see. And also, speaking of which, guys, this is going to surprise everyone. At Aftershock, rumours has it that it will be me, the leader of the Demon Nation, and Team Crimson, obviously Crimson, versus one of the members of Team Glorious, surprisingly, which is the heavy hitter and the very strong Rob Glorious. What's your views on that one, with the rumours and everything that's going round about that booking, dude?
I would honestly love to see that. I mean, both of you are amazing, like, athletes, but I do have to be a bit biased to say, you know, Rob Glorious.
I knew that was going to happen. But you never know, dude. It'll be the powerful one versus the extreme artist. At Aftershock, dude, guys, as I say, when the show is on, I will be putting the link in the description for you guys to see. So please check it out. What is your views on the... Have you heard, should I say, about the Firth Park show? The challenge that has been made between the Demons and Team Glorious. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but on the first ever podcast, we had Clayton Andrews on the show. And he said that I don't want to wait like until whenever you can have it at the live show for the Tag Team Championships. What stipulation would you like to sort of go against us in a way? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what stipulation would you like to do if you'd like to answer that?
I don't really know. I guess, you know, like a hardcore match. I mean, we do owe you guys, you know, a title match because of what happened at Double or Nothing with, you know, Death Star.
Yeah, we kind of fucked them up though last show, so I think they're dead now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm obviously these next few questions. Like, I just like want to know a bit about you. Like, so we have the first question I'm going to ask you is now, obviously, because you've been the cruiserweight champion, the Sheffield champion, the first ever person that's held both those titles at the same time, and the first ever tag team champion as well. What other title, like, what other 3 titles would you go for, like, in SWF?
I guess, you know, the world title, because, you know, that's what we're all after mainly.
That would be very interesting to see you, if Carnage is still the champion at that time. It would be very interesting to see you and Carnage go against each other for the first time. That would be a dream match, to be fair. What other title would you go for? Other than, obviously, the ones that you won and the World Heavyweight, like?
I guess the UK title. I know at the minute, you know, Side-Splitter holds the title, and I have a lot of respect for him.
That's same here, dude. That's same here. What is the last title that you would go for, dude?
I guess the hardcore title.
Let me know. That I'll be honest with you, dude. I was kind of surprised when you said that, to be fair, because I know you can go to the extent if you needed to, but I never knew that you'd actually go for, obviously, the hardcore title, if you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm not really much of a hardcore person, but, you know, when I do need to go to the extreme, I will go to it.
Well, that would be very interesting to see you go for, dude. And I honestly, I really don't know who'd be holding those titles, because every single title that we have on the show, it does end up changing at some point. So you never know who you could be going against. It could be even me at any of those titles at any of those times, but
it could be the Blue Wonder. We never
exactly
know.
We never know if the Blue Wonder will actually end up making an appearance against James Westney. It's like Jekyll and Crimson, basically, but you never know. So speaking of the Blue Wonder, like, what sort of made because obviously for those who don't know, which obviously you don't know, I'm not obviously exposing anyone or anything like that, but for those of you who do not know, the Blue Wonder, like myself, is James Westney or Leo Libra. It's like two people split between three characters, basically, but obviously the different characters. So what made you bring the Blue Wonder into SWF?
I don't know. I think I just need. I thought of bringing in some, like comedy into SWF, and just thought, I've got a spare mole suit laying around. I'll, bring that in.
Well,
and
yeah,
I didn't really expect him, like, the Blue Wonder to be as over as he is.
He's a very overrated character, to be honest, for what he does.
Which is get his ass kicked.
Yeah, he does get. He's a very fun-loving character. It's like Santino Marella, basically. It's very rarely that the Blue Wonder ever wins a match. It's just funny as fuck to see him there, and everyone loves him. That's the thing. It's brilliant. So I do enjoy when you or your brother do Blue Wonder. I've got to admit that is pretty sweet in its own way. What is your views on, obviously, the show at the end of the month? Like, who would you like to see at that show, if you don't mind me asking?
It's the superhero day, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I think, Side Splitters put up the match card. But, I would like to see, everyone there, everyone do the best. And Leo Libra to get his ass kicked.
Well, yeah, everyone wants Leo Libra to actually get his ass kicked. And surprisingly, guys, just to let you know, the main event at the live show at the end of this month is Leo Libra versus the World Heavyweight Champion, currently the World Heavyweight Champion, Carnage, in an open challenge for the title.
That's going to be good.
That is a dream match in itself. Even if there's no titles, no hardcore match or anything, that is just an unbelievable sort of lineup of it, basically. So what I'm going to do is now, guys, it's time for the review thing. Like I said before, I'm going to do like a slight review on everything and see if I can get the match cards up and ask James Westney who does he think will win, who do you think will win, who do you think will do this, that, and other. So just bear with me for a second, dude. I'm going to try and find a match card if it'll come up. But yeah, there is a few matches that I do know that is defo on at the next show. There is, I believe that there is Kevin King and Jekyll for, I think it is for the United States Championship. Like there's Crimson versus Crisis, James Westney versus his own partner, Clayton Andrews, which will be very, very interesting to see you two go at it for a warm up.
I'm looking forward to that.
For a warm, it is basically a warm up match, like me and Crisis, for the live show when we do go against each other for the tag team championships, which will be very, very, very interesting to see that. Which will be a very technical and very interesting match. There is also, I believe, obviously, there is Leo Libra versus Carnage. What is your views on those matches that I've just said, dude, before I get onto the lineup, hopefully?
I'm really looking forward to them. I mean, they're gonna be, really good matches.
Fingers crossed, dude, fingers crossed. Who do you reckon will win those matches, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. It's really hard to say at this point.
How come?
It's just, everyone is, I don't know.
Everyone's fighting for a place, basically, on it. It's insane. Everyone's wanting to prove that they're worthy of doing this. Sorry, guys, for the angle changes on the fucking camera. I do apologise. It's just I'm trying to find the best view for you guys to see myself. So yeah, I'm currently trying to find the fucking lineup, but unfortunately I don't know where it is. Is there an event page for it, by the way?
I believe so.
Let me have a look. I just forgot what it's called. What's it called now?
I think it's...
Yeah, I've got it now. All I have to do is type in SWF and it just comes up with everything. That's the beauty about being on the committee. It's funny as fuck. So yeah, it will be insane. We're expecting quite a few people. Like I think the people would be sort of kind of shocked at what we'll end up doing. So, anyways, guys, so the superstars that apparently on the lineup, which is still subject to change. Good advice there. What I gave you last time, Mr. Side Splitter. You will be seeing Side Splitter, Crimson, Psychosis, Clayton Andrews, Carnage, Mark Dolan, Crisis, James Westney, Dante, Crazy John, Catherine, which is the Black Widow, Lilith, Sky Phoenix, which is the women's champion at the moment, which she is actually part of Team Glorious as well, but I'll get onto that with James Westney soon, and many more. Right, I have a rough lineup of the matches that could be happening or defo happening. We don't know yet, which I highly doubt. Most of them will be happening, but you never know. So we've got at the beginning, obviously, Side Splitter introducing the show. Right, match number 1, we have Adam Chambers versus Axel versus Avalanche versus Lorraine Bates versus Daryl Haig versus Robert Davis versus Chris Lee versus Daniel Caswell versus Michael Gray versus Luke Moore versus Neil Kothman versus MJ Allen versus the Boatman versus Kyle Hackett versus Josephine McGowan Wood in a battle royal. What is your prediction on that, may I ask?
Gee, I mean,
that is very...
Battle Royals, I mean, anything can happen.
Who do you reckon will win that, dude?
I think the Boatman could win.
I believe so. Like, the Boatman, everyone said this, he acts a lot like me, which is very fucking scary. So, we never know. It's a battle royal can happen, you know. We could end up having the Blue Wonder coming in and kicking ass and taking names and then winning the battle royal, but we never know. Anyway, match number 2, Jonathan Havoc versus Kieran McSorley versus the Blackout, a triple threat, which could end up being a singles competition between Jonathan Havoc and the Blackout. Who do you reckon will win that one?
Oh, man. I think the Blackout has the potential to win. You know, I've seen him. He's improved a lot since he debuted. So, I'll go with the Blackout.
Just to let you know, guys, the Blackout is actually currently one of our rookies that has recently joined SWF, and he's doing very, very well, developing his character, developing his sort of move style and things like that, making himself his own. So that'll be very interesting. The next one, match number 3, Corey Cobain versus Kevin King in a singles competition. I don't know whether it's going to be a number 1 contendership or not. We don't have a clue yet. But before I end up asking, obviously I've asked you that question. Before you answer that question, my personal opinion at the moment is Kevin King. As I said, I had Kevin King on the last podcast. For those who haven't seen it, and he's a very upfront, aggressive sort of character. That, in a sense, he's doing well in his own way, but in another sense, I just don't really particularly... How can I put it? He's a nice guy behind closed doors and stuff, but when he's actually wrestling and things, like, his wrestling style is pretty good, even though he's a big guy. And I've seen him with Jackal, and he is pretty rough. And he's arrogant. He reminds me of Leo Libra, basically, crossed with Kevin Owens. That's how bad it is. But yeah, anyway, who do you reckon will win that match? Corey Cobain or Kevin King? Why?
Kind of like the same, reason you said. I mean, he's hard hitting. He's a big guy, and he's pretty much like Leo Libra and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, both dicks in their own right. Anyway, match number 4, we have the women's. We have Sky Phoenix, who is the current SWF women's champion. I know who he's going to say before I even mention everything. Versus Chloe Skater, versus Kate Brown, versus Courtney Brooks, versus Savannah Wright, versus Fren Masuka, which is a very, very weird last name, but I like it, so, versus Sarah Bridge, versus Lauren Coleman, versus Lilith in a women's battle royal. Who do you reckon?
I have to be biased for this since it's Sky Phoenix.
See, the thing is with Team Glorious, right, is they're very nice people, but very fucking biased when it comes to their own. Anyway. Why is that, my friend?
She's improved a lot since she debuted, and, she's the women's champion. She earned that. And, I'm pretty biased towards members of Team Glorious.
Stuck up pricks. What? I try not to be biased when it comes to the Demons, but obviously you can't help that when it's your tag team partners. Anyways, match number 5, Maverick Payne versus Mr. Smiley. The return of the Smiler himself. The crazy fucking bastard. Who do you reckon?
I have to say Maverick Payne for this.
Why?
Because I just want to see Mr. Smiley get beat up.
Have you got a personal grudge with him, or have you got just a grudge with him in general, or?
Well, I think when he debuted, I can't remember what show it was.
I can't remember, but
he kind of bust my lip open, so I kind of dislike him for that.
Fair enough. Match number 6, we have the Luchadors. Lazarado, Lucha Roslov, and El Toreno versus Jekyll, Botchkara, and the Obliviator in a 6-man tag. Who do you reckon will win that?
That's really hard to say.
It's very interesting because they're all... I've seen Lazarado, I've gone against Lazarado. Obviously, Jekyll is a very good friend of mine. Botchkara is a very good friend of mine. The only three people out of that I haven't seen wrestle is Lucha Roslov, Rosa, or whatever you want to call him, El Toreno, and the Obliviator. Which will be very interesting if they do end up turning up. I don't know, but you never know what the mask guys are like. So, yeah. Anyway,
it's really hard to say that one.
Guesstimate, as they say.
I think I'll have to go with Jekyll, Botchkara, and the Obliviator. Yeah. Because I don't know what Lucha Roslov and El Toreno are capable of.
Well, you never know, dude. Which will be very interesting. Match number 7. We were just on about this guy, actually. The Blue Wonder versus Crazy John. Again, probably going to be biased. Anyway, but yeah, that's match number 7.
I've joined back as well.
By the way, my little brother, the little demon himself, John, is back. Just to obviously let you guys know. Anyway, sorry about that, dude.
It's alright.
So what do you think about that one?
I want to say the Blue Wonder, but I also want to say Crazy John. I like both characters.
They're both crazy in their own right, and they're both funny as fuck. That's probably the reason why.
Yeah.
It is a tough one. It will be interesting to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
The nipple crippler.
Number 8, we have the we have 3 of the 4 former Death Doors members. We have Dante versus the Archangel Kalamazan and versus the Jack Ripper. Now, we both know this from the last show. They are pretty violent guys. We pretty much destroyed Death Doors. So, what is your views on that triple threat match?
It's going to be interesting with them all, being in a form of faction. I'm going to say Dante because I have been in a match with him and he's one of the toughest opponents I've faced.
Yeah. Well, as I say, dude, that is going to be interesting to see. Like the other matches, like I keep saying, I think Dante will win it because of the experience. But then again, I wouldn't mind seeing the Archangel come out on top on that one. But you never know. Match number 9, the return of Matty the Monster Barker versus Jason Adams, number 3. Match number 3, they've gone against each other. Who do you reckon will win that one?
I'll say, it's really hard because I've talked to Matty in the back before. He's a really nice guy, but I think Jason Adams has the upper hand. I mean, he's a former hardcore champion. He's very, very intimidating.
He doesn't intimidate me. just to let you know.
But it could go either way. Matty's a really good performer, and so is Jason Adams. So it'd be pretty interesting.
Fair enough, dude. Match number 10. I don't know if this is going to happen, guys. All these matches are just a rough lineup, so we're just doing it off the lineup. But match number 10, the Husky Warrior, who is the current Intercontinental Champion, versus Mark Dolan.
I believe the Husky Warrior won the Intercontinental Championship off Mark Dolan, did it?
Yes, he did.
As much respect I have for Mark Dolan, even though he's a prick.
Oh, God. Fighting words now. Anyway, carry on.
I gotta say the Husky Warrior.
How come, may I ask?
I don't actually know. I think it's just because, Husky Warriors beat Mark Dolan before, and, I think he can do it again.
Fair dues. The momentum of the championship that he has won from Mark Dolan it may help him, it may not, you never know.
But Mark Dolan has, been in SWF.
The experience factor.
He does have the upper hand.
I do get where you're coming from, dude. Match number 11. Now, this is very interesting. Hopefully, we'll see the return of Alpha Apex versus the return of Predator. Who do you reckon will win that one?
Ooh.
That is quite hard.
It's really hard to say.
How come?
They're just, really good. But I guess if I had to choose, I'd choose Predator. I mean, I've talked to Predator, before, and I have huge respect for the both of them. But, yeah.
Well, my personal opinion, I think Predator would win that. Simple fact of the experience, the titles that he's won, and also just the outrage power that he has. I've only ever come across Predator once. Unfortunately, I've never had the opportunity to wrestle against Alpha Apex, but obviously, hopefully, you'll see that in the future. Match number 12 now. This is a very interesting one, and I also know he's going to be biased. Anyway, Rob Glorious versus Wrecking Ball. The Battle of the Giants.
Like you said, I'm going to be biased towards this and say Rob Glorious.
Not surprising, anyway.
But, Wrecking Ball, I have huge respect for him, and I know he's going to do great.
Well, at the moment, guys, for those who do not watch SWF, Wrecking Ball is currently out of action with a injury. He has currently broke his hand. Hopefully he will be back for this show. But honest to God, guys, if you see Wrecking Ball actually wrestle, he is an absolute monster and is magnificent at what he does. So he's like the big show of SWF.
Amazing matches with you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's had the best out of 3 matches. We did the Intercontinental Championship, which is 2 out of 3 falls on game over, which I actually retained the title. Then we had another match at SWF Live, Winkerbank, Sheffield, sorry, for the hardcore, which he so ended up making it 1-1, and then we had it for the hardcore again, which was him. He won it 2-1, and then obviously the last match we had, I ended up winning. So we're drawing at the moment, but you never know. There could be one last match to declare who's going to win the final match between me and him. So you never know. Anyways. Match number 13. Now this is going to be very interesting, dude. And just be honest with this one. James Westney versus Clayton Andrews.
As much as I want to say me, you know, I've got to give it to Clayton Andrews. I mean, he's you know, got the more training than I have, so it's going to be really good. I mean, I'm going to bring my best, and Clayton Andrews is going to bring his best.
Fair enough, dude. Well, my opinion is, I personally, I can't really decide on this one, because you both, as I say, you're both good friends of mine. You know each other inside and out. Clayton Andrews might have the slight experience advantage, obviously, because of his training, what he'd done. Obviously, yourself, you've got you both know each other's set moves and stuff like that, so it will be a difficult one. But it will be interesting to see, and I know you guys will put a really good show on. Now, this is another interesting match. I'm going to be honest on this one as well. Match number 14, Crimson, myself, versus Crisis, the 2 members of the Demons. Who do you reckon will win that?
It's really hard to say. I mean, you're both extremely hard-hitting competitors. You're both really tough. I've been in a match with Crisis. He's you know, like Dante's one of the toughest opponents I've ever faced.
I agree with that one.
It's just really hard to say. I mean, you both know each other, you know, really well.
Well, both me and Crisis, obviously, as well as being a tag team, everyone has asked us in every organisation we've been in, who is the better brother, basically, who is the stronger and who is the better. At the moment, we are currently level on wins against each other. I think it's something daft like
6-all.
Something daft like 6-all, 10-all, something daft like that.
We lost count.
Yeah, we lost count. I'd say in the past 2 years, we've probably got 10 wins between us. So obviously it's 10-10. So you never know. Obviously, this is again a warm-up match to get us ready for the tag team championships between Team Glorious and the Demons. So you never know. It will be very interesting to see. Match number 15, Psychosis. The return of Psychosis versus Side Splitter. This is number 4, I believe they're doing. It is tough to say. It is very tough to say, but who would you like to see win?
It's really tough, but you know, I think Psychosis will win.
Yeah.
As much respect I have for Side Splitter, I believe, you know, Psychosis he's crazy as fuck. So I do think he has that to his advantage.
You never know, dude. My personal opinion is it's champion versus champion. Well, Psychosis holds 2 titles at the moment. He's the first ever Extreme Champion, and also he's the Hardcore Champion. And you've got Side Splitter, who is currently holding the UK Championship. So it wears off at the same time. I'd say realistically, experience edge would go to Side Splitter, but the intensity would go to Psychosis. So it is very difficult to say. So I'd probably go with Psychosis on this one. Not putting Side Splitter down. I respect you to the fullest, dude. If you are watching this, so yeah. The last match, the main event, match number 16, which we have actually spoken about, is Carnage versus Leo Libra. Who do you reckon will win that and why?
I mean, that's the dream match. I believe Leo Libra will win just because of the experience he's had. I mean, he's had 7 years doing wrestling. As much as I currently hate him, I have huge respect for him. He's one of the best wrestlers that I've seen.
He's very tough as well. He is
despite
very
his
tough.
head being, bigger than the planet at this point.
Fair enough, dude. My views is I personally, even though obviously I've got rivalries with both these two guys, I would probably go on the other side. Reason why being is because Carnage is currently the World Heavyweight Champion. He's held multiple championships in SWF, SMW, and SBW, which is Stampede Backyard Wrestling, like I was talking to Mr. Mark Dolan at the part 1 of the show. But yeah, I think Carnage would probably win it only just, but you never know. Anything can happen on a live show, so yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because, both Carnage and Leo Libra are both extremely good.
Yeah. Anyways, dude, thank you. I know obviously it's only been 35 minutes, but thank you for being on